Eagles, Bucks, both 2-0, Week 3 Monday Night Football. Who will be handed their first loss of the season? What is up, everybody? Welcome into A to Z Philly. You know the drill by now. Hit the like button if you enjoy the content. Subscribe. Drop a comment down below for the algo. Ring the bell. Don't miss any of the coverage. We are back in Week 3, and the Eagles traveling to Tampa Bay to go up against Baker Mayfield and the Bucks. To be honest, credit to Baker. I don't think any analyst or any expert probably had that team winning 7 games this year, and they've started off 2-0. They've grinded out some wins. Is this the week where the Eagles finally get upset? Is this the one they drop? Tough schedule coming up. Or will the Eagles continue and finally put it all together? And will they blow the brakes off the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on a charge to 3-0? Give me all your thoughts and predictions down in the comments. We're going to break it all down here today. We'll take a look at a lot of things. But before we do that, a shout out to our sponsor of today's video, BetMGM. Enjoy all your favorite sports like never before at BetMGM. Sign up using code ATOZPA and receive up to $1,000 back in bonus bets if you don't win your first bet. When you register with BetMGM, you'll get instant access to a variety of parlay selection features, live betting options, player props, and daily boosted odds specials. And with BetMGM at your fingertips, every play and every game matter more than ever. So find out why BetMGM is the king of sportsbooks. Just go download their app right now on your phone, sign up, use the code ATOZPA, and get up to $1,000 back in bonus bets if you don't win your first bet. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. If you think the Eagles are going to cover, right now I think they're a 4.5 or 5-point favorite. Why not go check it out, man? Go check out BetMGM. Okay, let's talk about the injuries update as of right now. Now, again, an official report has not come out, so I went on the Eagle website, and we see a lot of the names that have been familiar. A couple guys on there who were new, but really, my main concern is with the guys who were there last week who did not play. The Reed Blankenships, the Gene Bradburys, and, Fletcher Cox ended up playing, but Kenneth Gainwell, right? All these guys are on the injury report. However, it shows that as of Thursday, they were all limited participants in practice. So they did practice. They're suiting up. Boston Scott obviously had that concussion last week, so I don't know if he'll be ready. He hasn't really played much anyway. And Quez Watkins on the injury report, as well as Terrell Edmonds. So definitely we'll keep our eyes on that, but good to hear that the rest of these guys are shooting up. They will be integral pieces this upcoming week. The Bucs are dealing with injuries as well. A couple guys up front and in the secondary. So we'll have to wait on the final report from that. But I want to quickly just show this as well. A.J. Brown had to comment on the Jalen Hurts sideline incident. And just a quick synopsis here, of what he's saying. I'll just read a few lines. He says, "No, it was not about targets. I'm sure everybody thought that because he threw me the ball 3 times in a row afterwards, I was not over there discussing targets. It was about something that happened earlier. We were having a discussion about it. It's not a big deal. Me and him are still on the same page. We're trying to grow, be great, and get wins most importantly." So because the media wants to continue to stir this up and keep dragging it on, A.J. Brown had to finally address it. Everybody and their mom told you, no, there's nothing wrong. Nick Sirianni, Jalen, Devontae, they all told you nothing is wrong. But they had to keep pressing. So I'm glad AJ addressed it. And you know what? Matter of fact, go on BetMGM. I'm picking AJ to be the player of the week. How about that? I'm picking him to go for $150. How about that? AJ is going to have his explosive breakout game of the year. And how about that? AJ Brown, player of the week. Not even just on the Eagles. How about the NFC player of the week? That's my bold prediction. Anyway, let's get into the Eagles and the Bucs. So shout out to my guy, Philly Mike. He put this here on Twitter. It was a graphic of most of the experts. And as you can see, the Eagles, the Bucs, both 2-0. A lot of people are picking the Eagles to win this game by a score. And I have to give my opinion on this as well. The Bucs are not a team that I'd say you can take lightly. They're coming in with a lot of confidence. Baker Mayfield has had a great start to the year. Probably, deserves more props than people have given him, given his career trajectory. But let's not front, right? The Eagles have a more talented roster. The Eagles should dominate. They should win this game. But then again, if they come in like they had the last couple weeks and they're playing around and they're not fully executing and putting it all together, this could end up being one of those gritty, grinded out games. When I went back and I looked at some of the Bucs material over the first couple games, I didn't watch their games, but just going back and seeing some highlights and seeing some stats and all that, the Bucs grinded out their first 2 wins. Okay, they played the Bears, who stink, And they played the Vikings, which the Eagles saw firsthand, probably are not that good as well. So I don't really think the Bucs have played a tough competitor. And I could probably say that about the Eagles as well. But looking up and down the roster, the Eagles should have this team beat. But it's going to come down to strategy. And my first main takeaway when it comes to this Eagles-Bucs game is who is going to be able to establish the run? Because believe it or not, guess who the top 2 teams right now are in the NFL when it comes to the run game? Number 1 is the Philadelphia Eagles. They've given up 104 yards, which is the best in the league right now through 2 games. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have given up 108. They are number 1 and 2. But on the other side, the Eagles are number 2 in the league when it comes to the rushing attack. That's mainly because DeAndre Swift went absolutely insane last week for 175. So the Eagles are number 2. But then the Buccaneers are in the lower third of the league in rushing. So can the Eagles come out? I know they're going to try to establish the air game, and they're going to try to hit a couple big explosive plays in the first quarter. But can they come out, get into a rhythm? I would love to see Brian Johnson come out and allow that running game to get going, right? Can you run it down their throats, establish, both DeAndre Swift, Kenny Gainwell, who's going to start? How's that going to play out? That'll be another storyline, main storyline to watch early on. But can the Eagles come out, establish their rhythm, and then when the Bucs start to bite up a little bit, then you hit them with that deep game. And like I said, their secondary is a little banged up. I think if the Eagles can run the ball, right, and take some time off the clock early, don't give it in to the hands of Baker Mayfield and extend drives, etc., and just take time off of their possessions, I think the Eagles are probably going to be in prime position to win this game. Maybe go up 7-10 early, and then you hit them with a couple big plays. Then there's really no looking back if you're the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, when it comes to the Eagles, their pass defense has been putrid so far. I'm looking at Sean Desai in this game, how he will game plan against Baker Mayfield. Going back and looking through Baker's first couple games, he's been very, very cautious with the football. And to be honest, yes, the Bucs have grinded out these close, gritty games, but, on the offensive side, even though they haven't set the world on fire, Baker's playing some good football, man. And let's be honest, right? We've seen this before with Baker Mayfield. We've seen this before with Baker in some of the years in his career, right? He starts out a season good. He's going flawless, and, maybe his team's like 4-1 or 5-1. I don't know the exacts, but he's had seasons where he started off playing pretty good football, and then one game he gets hit upside the head, and then he doesn't really know what to do after that, right? And it kind of falls apart, or maybe he, is banged up, whatever it is, and then it kind of starts to collapse. But so far, nobody has really been able to test Baker Mayfield like that. And when you look at the Eagles front, we all know they're probably the most dominant, if not the second most, in the entire NFL. And so far, the Bucs have 8 sacks in 2 games. The Eagles have 4. The Eagles are going to need to get some pressure up front. All right, Sean, you got to draw something up, man. You got to hit Baker early, because right now, again, he's got 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. He has not turned the ball over. The Eagles will have to force turnovers in this game. They're going to have to get at least 1 or 2, in my personal opinion, if they want to win this game handily. And, like I said, the Bucs are just playing clean, gritty, in the mud football, winning these games early. And, I look at their guys on offense. They don't have many playmakers. They have Mike Evans, who's out there feasting right now. He's had a touchdown in the first 2 weeks each. He's trying to get a contract. He's obviously a superstar. But the Eagles have Darius Slay. They have Bradbury most likely coming back. They're going to have Blankenship most likely coming back. There's no reason that the Eagles should not be able to at least prevent Mike Evans in some situations. I'm not saying they're going to completely stop him. He's going to get his, but can you limit those big plays? Even Justin Jefferson last week had a lot of yards, had a lot of catches, but he didn't really have that one breakaway play. And when he almost did, he fumbled into the end zone. So I think the Philadelphia Eagles, man, just got to come out and put a stop on this Bucs team. And I think this will be the game where Jalen finally gets going, gets it, nailed down to a T in the air game. And again, I think A.J. Brown's going to have a breakout game. I think DeAndre Swift could have another big game if you use him the right way. This could be a Dallas Goedert game. I think the Eagles have a lot of playmakers that can go out and dominate the Bucs. But again, the Eagles have not been able to put it together in all 3 facets so far, so they need to be able to do that. And even when you look at a guy like Nick Sirianni, he's willing to go with the hot hand, right? Here's what he said about DeAndre Swift, quote, "If he's got the hot hand on Monday night, we'll keep rolling with him." That's why mindset coming into this game. I'm going to be watching Brian Johnson and Sean Desai closely. What's working? Are you going to stick with it? Are you going to go with that? Because the Eagles have had some really good quarters this year. But then if you look at their passing game defense, they're one of the worst in the league right now because they've allowed teams to just run it right down the field, right? Dink dunk. And then, you get up by a couple scores and then you take your foot off the gas pedal. The Eagles cannot do that. They have to play sound football for 4 quarters. I'm hoping that this is the game where they finally put it all together. But at the end of the day, if they can get to Baker Mayfield and force a couple turnovers and establish the run game, it's like whose run defense is going to break first? If the Eagles can just establish their rhythm early in this game, there's no reason they should not be able to win this game by 10 points or more. That's my personal opinion. I think a couple guys are due for a breakout game. I think the defense needs to tap into a whole new level. I mean, even guys like Josh Sweat, Hassan Reddick, I think can, make a major impact in this game. And you should not allow the Bucs to dictate, the style and the tempo of this game. I think you come in, you hit them in the mouth, and you go from there and you see what works, man. But look, it'll be an interesting one. Can the Eagles deliver the first loss of the season to the Bucs, who are riding 2-0? They'll be at home. And can the Eagles move to 3-0? Or will this be one of those upset games? We'll just have to wait and see how it plays out. Give me your predictions down below in the comments. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. That being said, I will catch you all on the next one. Peace.